obviously we want to make sure that we are walking out our faith as best as we can, being super depending on the Lord. What is one thing the Lord has been showing you, maybe this week or maybe this month? And you go first, and I'll go after.
Sure, man. So I think one thing we talked about at church today was prayer and like, hey, how do you pray? Do you always just think about your prayer, and then it's always like me. God, can I have this?
Mm-hmm.
God, give me this. And Professor Pastor Xavier, Pastor Xavier at our
Thinking about X
church.
Men.
No, but my freaking pastor's name is Xavier. So
Yeah.
so it makes it more confusing. Anyways, but Pastor Xavier was talking today about how like, hey, what if your prayer didn't like try to make you better, but it tried to make like the world more like the way God intended it to make the world look more like heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably something that I'll take with me throughout this week and just be like, all right, make sure. Because I'll be like, God, please give me blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me patience. Give
Yeah.
me knowledge. Give me
Mm-hmm.
time, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And um, yeah, I feel like that's going to be something I work on this week.
Yeah, I think that's good, man. I think for me personally, bro, and I'll speak about mine in a minute, but like I am a guy that sounds contradicted. I pride myself on being a selfless prayer, more so praying for other people more than myself. I know as of lately, I've been discussing with my wife. I've been kind of struggling praying for myself, um, because I feel like when those prayers don't come into fruition the way I want, I feel like, man, I just exhausted myself praying for myself. And I just always have this revolving door on like, what's the point in praying for something if the Lord is sovereign and he's going to provide our needs regardless? Because I forgot where it is in scripture, but right before the Lord's prayer, when he says pray like this, it spoke about how like the God already knows what you need before you even ask. So I'm like, if he already knows what I
Mm-hmm.
need before I ask, why do I need to ask? And he's sovereign, so he already knows what's going to happen. So I've been in this like space where it's like I just need to live a life of obedience and gratitude in my prayers, and whatever he wants to get me through his sovereignty, he will. But the word does, command us to pray. So
Mm-hmm.
I think in regards to praying for myself, I need to do a better job. But I think it is even more important to be selfless in our prayers as well. But the thing that's been on my mind, throughout the last 2 weeks are two scriptures. It's Psalm 56:3 that says, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you." And not that I'm walking around scared, but transition out of the NFL and just trying to figure out what to do next, it comes with a bit of fear because when you're done playing, bro, you feel like you're behind the eight ball. Like I didn't get to learn all these skill sets and talents that a lot of kids do when they graduate college because I was too busy playing in the NFL. And that's not to say I'm ungrateful for that. I'm super grateful for that. But like, I never worked a real job in my life, so it's just like, Lord, I don't know what to do next. I know I love talking about golf. I know I love playing golf. And I do give him Golf and Gospel podcast and Golf and Gospel. And I pray as part of his sovereignty that he allows it to take off. But if he's calling me to something else, I mean, there's a fear of like I don't know how to do anything else because all I've done is football. So in that sense, because there's some fear, I'm learning my best to try, and well, not try. I'm learning my best to hopefully walk this out to put my trust in Him. And the second thing is, which I think I do, I think you do, and a lot of my other friends do, is what it says in Matthew 11:6. It says, "Blessed are the ones who are unashamed of me," and just continue to boast in the gospel, man. I've never been the type of guy to water down the gospel. I like to say that I'm willing to offend the world for the sake of the gospel. That's not to say that I'm like preacher, I'm like throwing in your face or condemning people, but like if there's things like the world is doing and it's counter to the gospel, I'm going to speak on it, bro, for the sake of the gospel, and I'm willing to
Mm-hmm.
offend for the sake of the gospel. So I would say those are two things that have been on my heart the last 2 weeks. But that Psalms 56:3 has been one I'm really, really trying to walk out and just trust in the Lord and just believe in His provision, bro. So
Dude,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's fun. Like, there's two things. When I got in my car accident, I
oh
was like,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do next because I knew
So I would
golf
say
was
this,
probably
guys.
done.
If you want to hear more of this story, go to Golf and Gospel, type in Nate Wong, and you'll see him beat me in golf, but also tell this story. But continue, Nate.
Yeah, so I got in a car accident, and I like ended my at least my college career. You know, I can still
Mm,
golf now, but
yeah.
I remember like I was like, all I know is golf. I got into college like thinking I'm just gonna be a golfer, and like when I'm done, I'm gonna go play pro golf. And that so when I got in a car accident, I was like the most lost I've ever felt. Or like when I was
Mm,
done, like because they were like,
mm,
yeah, we're gonna medically retire you, like almost whether you like it or not, but we were gonna
yeah.
medically retire you. And yeah, be that like feeling of lostness. It is like scare. You know, it is scary.
Yeah.
So I totally feel you there. I feel like I don't think I have the right answer. I was just trying
Yeah,
to
it's
empathize. You
not that
know.
it's not that I'm like looking for an answer right now. I mean, I am, but not to
Yeah.
say like give me an answer, Nate. It's just,
Yeah.
I have to my one of my homeboys. His name is Javian Elliott. Javian's my dog, man. I love that dude. He's been telling me. He suggested to me like when you go on these car rides and stuff. Like a lot of times when we're praying about stuff, we're always asking. We're just talking too much, and he's just like, yo, just drive in silence. See what the Lord tells you. Like try to have a quiet time. And bro, a lot of times when I've been driving as of lately, I just been driving in silence, unless I'm re-listening to Golf and Gospel podcast like you guys should be.
Yeah.
But I just been driving in silence, just hoping to hear from the Lord, or hoping that He just stirs my heart in a way. And again, in my hope is if it's in His will for this Golf and Gospel podcast, Golf and Gospel takeoff, then like I just gotta be patient in that. But if it's not, um, then yeah, I just gotta trust in Him to provide. But I'm just sitting there quiet in my car, like Lord, tell me something. Sometimes like my mind be wandering, and I'm just like I have to tell myself like, bro, hush up, dog. Like listen, like just try to listen, because
Oh
our mind
yeah.
just it just goes off in other places. So,
That's
but
that's
yeah,
kind of like the Scotty Scheffler, like just look at the birds, you know, and like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I almost weren't you trying to like almost quoting that like the
Well, I
Sermon
was
on the
saying if
Mount, like
not necessarily. So when I was mentioning the thing with Scotty, I was more so talking about because like I feel like in the game of golf, and you would know more than me, that you
oh
can
yeah,
mentally exhaust yourself when
for sure.
you're just thinking golf, 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 golf. So Scotty will obviously hit a shot, and then as he's walking, he's just like, look at these birds. He's trying to take his mind off it to kind of like if I was, imagine if I was just running hundreds over and over and over. I think in Scotty's sake, when he's doing, I'm tired of that happening. In Scotty's sake, when that's happening, when he goes and looks at the birds or the trees, that's him like getting a water break. And then when he gets back to his ball or he's approaching his ball,
Yeah,
now
a
he's
mental water
surrendering.
break.
Yeah, now he's like, all right, okay, the wind's off the right. Well, Ted's like, the wind's off the right. The slope here is 152. I think you should use your 9 iron, maybe keep it low, whatever he may be telling him. And then that's when he gets back into his mental. But like, you just don't want to mentally exhaust yourself. And I think sometimes we should pray without ceasing. Do not get me wrong. But it's like, man, let's take a break and not always just be praying, but like, let's listen and see where he directs us. And maybe lately I've just been too loud in that. Yeah, I think that's what my
Yeah.
boy Javian was trying to suggest to me, and I appreciate him
No.
giving me that wisdom.
Yeah, no. I was talking about you said earlier about like when God talks about prayer, what were you saying?
Um,
And then it was like uh before
Praise
the
the Lord.
Lord's prayer, before the
Oh
Lord's
yeah, yeah,
prayer, he
yeah,
said,
yeah.
yeah.
He said, I already know what you need before you even ask. So pray like this: Our Father, who Lord
Yeah.
in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So I always had this thing like, well, should I even be praying because He already knows what I need, and He's sovereign. So whatever is going to happen, and His will is going to happen. So should I just live a life of prayer in regards to gratitude and living a life that's obedient to Him and reflects Him? And like I said, it's been a revolving door in my head because it's like He tells us to ask, but I saw the scriptures also say like He already knows what we need before we even ask. So I'm always like, what's the point of asking? And I'm more so getting that space when I really, really pray for something and it's a no. And with this last situation, obviously you know what I'm talking about. Bro, I was like in my closet praying in silence on drives, having friends intercede on my behalf. For him to say no, then I was just like, what's the point in praying, bro? Like, because if you're sovereign, you already knew you were going to say no, bro.
Hmm.
Now, for me, guys, if you're listening, I'm not questioning if God's still good. He's still amazing. He's still fire, bro. Like, he's still down across my sins. But it's just like, bro, like, what's the point of even asking? Like, if you knew you were going to say no, because then I wouldn't have wasted all my time doing that if I knew it was going to be no. But that's just something I just battle with eternally, as I being transparent on this podcast. Um, that I just need to work through at this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But guys, man, please let us know your thoughts in the comments. If it's golf, if it's gospel related, shoot, reach out to me and Nate. How we can be praying for you, how we can be servicing you.
Yeah.
And guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast with the CME Championships, and that's probably like the real last tournament. I know you got the RSM Classic next week and stuff. I will want to break that down if my dog Novak wins. But yeah, guys, yeah, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.